Under the perfect competition, all firms have the homogeneous product. When all firms have the homogeneous product, then all firms facing the same cost condition, so they have the same shape for their average cost curve and for marginal cost curve, and all these average and marginal cost curves have the U shape. Average cost curve have the U shape, and the marginal cost curve also have the U shape under the perfect competition, because all of the firm facing the same conditions of uh, cost. So we are going to find out the point where the firms have the equilibrium point under the perfect competition. Under the perfect competition, the firms have the equilibrium point where the firm's average cost curve have the U-shaped, and firm's marginal cost curve is equal to the marginal revenue curve. This is the equilibrium point of the firm. The firm's equilibrium point where the marginal cost is equal to its marginal revenue. Under the perfect competition, all of the firms have the homogeneous product, and all of the firms are the price takers, mean all of the firm offer the same price of their products. When all of the firms have the same price, it means there is the identical price for all firms, and all firms are forcefully follow this price. This I am going to draw the situation under which the equilibrium point of the firm. This is the output, and this is the revenue and cost side of the firm. When all of the firm have the same price, because all of firms are the price taker, then their marginal revenue and average revenue are equal. Marginal revenue is equal to average revenue, and this is the price. This is the horizontal line which shows all of the firms have the same price, offer the same price, and all of the firms are the price takers under the perfect competition. Now I am going to draw the marginal supply curve. This is the short run marginal supply curve, and the equilibrium condition is there, the point where MC is equal to marginal revenue curve. This is the condition of the equilibrium under short run under the perfect competition. These are the 2 points on which marginal revenue is equal to the average marginal revenue is equal to the marginal cost. But which is the point where firm is at the equilibrium? So for equilibrium, there are 2 conditions for the firm. Number 1 condition is marginal cost must be equal to the marginal revenue, and number 2 is the marginal cost cut the marginal revenue from the rising point. Now when we think about this diagram, we come to know about that this is the falling point of the marginal cost, so this is not the equilibrium point of the firm, and this is the rising point of the marginal cost, so point E is the equilibrium point of the firm, with meeting the both of the conditions of the firms, which is both of these 2 equilibrium conditions of the firm. So now when we find out the equilibrium condition of the firm, then we discuss all situations of the firm which firm facing under the perfect competition. Under the perfect competition, firms can earn abnormal profit, firm can earn normal profit, firms faces the losses, and firms shut down their business. Shut down their business. These are situations which firms are facing under the perfect competition. First of all, I am going to draw the diagram which shows the abnormal profit of the firm. For abnormal profit, I am going to draw the diagram, and this is the output, and this is revenue and cost of the firm. Now I am going to draw the this line. This is the horizontal line, and this is margin revenue is equal to average revenue, and this is the price of the product. Now I am going to draw the this is the marginal short run marginal cost curve, and always average revenue curve is like this, like U shape, and this is the short run average cost curve. Now I am going to find out the firm's profit, and for it we see this point. This is the firm's equilibrium point, because at this point MC is equal to MR. Now for finding out the profit of the firm, we go down from this point, from where this point touch the average cost curve, then we drag this point toward this, and this is the new point, and this rectangular area is called the profit of the firm, and this is the abnormal profit of the firm. This is the abnormal profit of the firm, number one situation. Now I am going to show you the situation where the firm earn only the normal profit, and again we draw the diagram. This is the output, and this is revenue and cost, and this is firm's marginal revenue is equal to average revenue, and this is the price. And again I am, first of all I am draw the short run. This is the short run marginal cost curve, and this is the equilibrium point of the firm, and when the average firm earn only the normal profit, then firm's average cost curve is touch the average cost curve is equal to average revenue. When firm earns the, then marginal cost, short run marginal cost is equal to average revenue is equal to marginal revenue, and all of this equal to short run average cost. Under the normal profit, when firms earn normal profit under the perfect competition, then shapes of the curves is like that. This is the situation when firms earn the normal profit. Now I am going to draw the diagram where firms faces the loss. When firms faces the loss, then firms average cost curve going to up from their average revenue and from marginal revenue curve, and the situation is just like that. This is output, and this is revenue and cost, and this is price, average revenue and marginal revenue. Now I am going to draw the short run marginal cost curve. This is the short run marginal cost curve, and this is the equilibrium point of the firm, because at that point marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. When firm faces the loss, then average cost curve goes up to the average revenue and marginal revenue curve. This is the short run average cost curve, and now this is when we want to find out the portion of the losses which the firm earns, then we go up from this point toward the average cost and drag this point toward this and find out that this portion shows the losses of the firm. This is the point where firm faces the losses. When firm faces the losses, then firm have to decide either they continue their business or shut down their business. There are two situations. There are the situation uh, under which the firms want to shut down its business, and the situation under which firms continue its business and wait the situation, wait the time when the situation goes better. All the decisions about the firm depends upon its average variable cost. If the firm's average variable cost, again I am draw the diagram to showing the situation when the firm decide to shut down its business or continue his business. If we are this is the average revenue and marginal revenue and price, and both are equal, and this is the short run marginal cost, and this is the equilibrium point. Again I am drawing the situation of this is the short run average cost curve, and this is the losses of the firm. So firm want to decide either he shut down his business or continue, then it all of this depends upon the average marginal cost curve. Average marginal cost curve, this is the short run average variable cost curve. This is the short run average variable cost curve. Whenever this cost curve, average variable cost curve, is down from the average revenue, or whenever price is greater than average variable cost, then firm decide to continue his business, or at the point where the price equal to average variable cost, from this point to this point the firm can continue his business. But if the P goes less to the average variable cost, then firms just shut down his business, and this is the situation. And this is the situation when average variable cost goes up from the goes up from the goes up from the this is the short run average variable cost, and this cost goes up from the average revenue. Average revenue is actually price of the firm, and this is the when price goes down from the average variable cost, or average variable cost goes up from the price, then this is the point where the firm try to firm try or firm want to shut down his business. So this is because we know that firms total cost is equal to firm's total cost is equal to average cost and Q, and firm's total variable cost is equal to average variable cost and Q. And the situation uh, when total revenue is greater than total variable cost, then the firms continue his business. But when total revenue goes below the total variable cost, then firm stop its business, and total revenue is equal to P and Q, and greater than total variable cost is equal to ever variable cost and Q. This Q is cut down and P is greater than average variable cost. This is the point when whenever firm have this point, they decided to continue his business. So when his average variable cost curve is down from the curve average revenue or marginal revenue, then firms decided to continue his business. And when the short run average variable cost curve goes up from the average revenue curve, and average revenue curve is actually the equal to the price. Average revenue curve and price. Average revenue is also showing the demand of the firm. Now I am going to find out the supply curve of the industry. When we find out the supply curve of the industry, now I am talking about the short run period, then we find out the supply curve of the industry under the short run. So supply curve of the industry under the short run. Short run, I already told you about the short run. Short run is a period in which supply can be changed by changing only the variable cost. So fixed costs remain the same under the short run, and under perfect competition, average revenue is equal to marginal revenue. So the firm will produce up to the point where marginal revenue is equal to the marginal cost. This is the equilibrium point of the firm. The short run supply curve of the firm is under the perfect competition is the part of the marginal cost curve for all where its average very minimum point where the firm facing the minimum average variable cost curve, or we can say that the point where marginal cost curve equal to the marginal revenue, the point where all rates of output equal or greater than the rate of output associated with the minimum average variable cost. When we draw the diagram to find out the marginal find out the supply curve of the industry, then we this is the marginal revenue and average revenue, and this is the price. This is the short run marginal cost curve, and this is the average cost curve, and this is average variable cost. This is the equilibrium point. From this to going upward, this is the minimum point of the average variable cost curve. Actually, the portion of the short run marginal cost curve which is above the minimum point of the average variable cost curve is the supply curve of the industry. If we find out the supply curve of the industry, then this portion of the short run marginal cost curve is the supply curve of the industry, and this is the summation of all of the supply of the firms under the perfect competition. So the portion of the marginal cost curve which is above the minimum point of the average variable cost is the supply curve of the industry, and this is and supply curve of the industry is the summation of the all the supply curves of the firms under the perfect competition.